So guys, I'm doing this video because I searched a lot for an easy way to remove duplicates using Power Automate, and I didn't find one that I considered easy, so I came up with this one, and I want to share with you how it works. So let's see here our scenario. So here we have a very simple database with courses. So I have 2 courses. That means we have a lot of duplicates here. And I have 8 students. What I want to look is when a student is enrolled in the same course twice, right? This is the scenario. But you can replicate that for a lot of other scenarios when you have 2 columns or even 3 columns that you need to address as duplicates, right? So you can have for instance, an email, a department, and a product, for instance. 3 columns that you want to have the 3 of them as unique values inside your database, right? So what you need, the first thing you need here is a key, right? So since I want to look for duplicates considering course/student, I need to build a key that represents that, right? So let's do it in Power Automate. So duplicate tryout. Okay. So, and how does it work? Okay, I will use the old model because I prefer. So, first thing we need to do is to initialize a variable. Okay, and this variable will be an array, and we will call this students total. Okay, and we will build a JSON object inside this variable. Okay, so right, and then what we do next, so we can get the items from our database, from in that case is SharePoint, okay, but you can use it in Dataverse or any database. So get items. Now I will put my site address. Okay, this one, the list name, this one, and here this is important, is ordered by created. I will do ascending. Oh, I will explain that later, why this is important. And now we will populate this variable and bring our key. Okay, so append to array variable. Okay, and the value will be a JSON object, and the first value will be my duplicate key. Okay, and this duplicate key will be my course, and the email. Oh, email. So I forgot separate here. Okay, and now also what we need the ID, because we want to delete the item, right? So we will build an ID here. Okay, ID, and now we will have our variable. Let's store that in a compose action just to see if it worked. And here is students total var. Okay, let's see if it worked. So flow ran, and what I have is this, right? Okay, what we need to do next is to copy the result here inside and edit again. And now we will analyze, parse this JSON object. So we will generate a schema with that result and parse this JSON object, students total. So we can now search for our duplicates value, right? So now we need to initialize another variable, and this time it will be a string variable. It will be a string variable, and we will call it student verify. We don't need anything here inside, and condition here is students verify contains our dup key. So we know that students verify is empty, right? Because we declare that here, so it's nothing is inside here. So when I parse this JSON here, it will loop with all the objects that were created inside this JSON. So I have 10 records, so we will have 10 objects inside. So it will loop all of them. So if it does not find the key here, you will append to this variable, append to string variable, and you will put the key that is in this instance of the loop. Okay, so I know we have a duplicate value, is this one, student 1 applied to course 1 one time and 2 times. So I have 2 times the same scenario where student 1 is applying to the same course. Okay, so, and if it finds the key, then we need another variable. Okay, if it finds the key, we need another variable, initialize variable, this time another array variable, and I will call this students duplicate, also a JSON object, right? So if it does find the key, you will append to this array variable. And what you need here is also a JSON object with the duplicate key, Actually, you know what? You don't need the duplicate key here, you just need the ID, but okay, I will put it so we can show to you what happens here. Now we have the ID, and here inside the ID. Okay, so what will happen here is he will search if student verify contains this duplicate key from the first loop, and it will not, so it will append this duplicate key here, right? And then return, and it will do it 10 times. On the last time, I know already that it will find the key, because this key here was already registered in the string variable in the first loop, in the first instance of the loop. So let us put here a compose action with students duplicate to see if that worked. Okay, save. So now it's running the flow. Yeah, so let's see what it found here. Exactly, the record with ID 10 is a duplicate, right? And that's why it's important here to when you put get items. If you do ascending, it will register in the student's duplicate the last record. If you put descending, it will put the first one, right? Let's test it again. So flow is running. And yes, we have the first record, right? So it's working. Okay, so now you just need to parse this JSON object from student's duplicate. Parse JSON. And we need the same schema. That same schema. Here. Done. So, and this time we will parse student's duplicate. And now we need a apply to each action. Apply to each, where we put this last JSON that was parsed here. And find the ID or the IDs if you have more than one. Here, ID to delete, and finally inside SharePoint we do a delete item, right? So the same site address, the same list, and now I have an ID to search for. So I will put ascending again, so we delete the last item, and let's see if it works. Okay, flow is running. Remember, I have 10 records. By the end of this flow I should have 9, right? I have 10 here. Let's now I have 9, right? It deleted the duplicate record that I don't want. The ID is the ID 10. If I did descending, it would delete the first one. Okay, so this is it basically. Hope you enjoyed the solution, and thank you.